Oh, how did you guys like the interview with Michael? I still have trouble pronouncing his last name. It's great enough to come on. Thank you very much, Michael, out there. Some people subscribe to our Twitter because they saw the interview with Michael, so we thank you as well. And so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about.
Put me in cold. I'm ready to play the game. Put me in cold.
All right. And this week we had Michael, and we're talking about his IronBirds, the Aberdeen IronBirds. Now, couple things here real quick. We're going to talk the baseball, obviously, with the IronBirds, but they are having some business issues. There's a question if the Baltimore Banner did report that if the IronBirds possibly may be moving, the team might be moving on from them. The rumor is it's possible Frederick Keys could be getting back in to going ahead and getting that in there. Frederick Keys are currently in the draft league. They're making some, I don't know that, but Ripkins are no longer involved. I thought it was interesting during the interview. I asked Michael, hey man, how is it meeting Cal Ripken? He says he's never met him. So he's been the announcer like 2-3 years. That tells me that the Ripkins aren't involved, even though it's still Ripken Stadium. The Ripkins, the Little League World Series, no longer there. I don't know if the team, Added Sports, is going to keep it there. So we're going to keep up with this and see the future of the team. I would personally love to see it stay in Aberdeen, keep the IronBirds going. But interesting to see how that actually goes going forward there. Let's talk a little bit about the team, the grow. Now, they do have an interim general manager. Scott Profak was there. Ryan Grohl, animated guy, like definitely a guy. So Ryan Grohl, if you see a Lou Piniella, Tommy Lasorda, a guy like that, Bobby Cox, that's what you got with Ryan Grohl. Interesting path that he took. Not really a high level player, but a guy who was a manager for years. You're seeing that a lot now. You're seeing it more in football, more in baseball, but seeing a guy who was a manager for a lot of years. Blake Money, 12th round pick. That's a name you're going to keep looking at. It's been decent for them. Jake Cunningham, again, is a guy not quite on that prospect radar yet, but name to keep an eye on. Anderson DeSantos, he's up from the Dominican League. I think for sure this guy is going to be a top 30 Orioles prospect at some point with his rise here. Let's talk about the IronBirds and Griffel Farrell. Griffel Farrell has kind of struggled a little bit out the blocks this year, but I keep saying he reminds me of Dustin Pedroia. Very compact swing when he swings. Good defensive second baseman. Good defensive shortstop. Was very good in the Olympics. Not so great at the bat at the start. He's been batting at the top of the order, so they have been giving him every opportunity. This is stats that may be updated till maybe as a week or so as well. They're not playing this week. But 3 home runs, 20 RBIs, 213 average. Austin O'Hearn, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs. He's been their best power hitter. Again, average low on this team. I think that's why they're struggling offensively. A lot of guys would have been might have a better record, if we had a little bit better at the plate as far as that production. Vance Honeycutt, the number 1 pick in the draft in 2024. I totally agree with Michael when he talked about how good Vance Honeycutt is defensively. He's terrific. Terrific defensive player on the field. Great power, stealing bases. The power numbers hasn't come along yet. The average hasn't come along yet. So I think that's why he spent the whole year here in Aberdeen, because he hasn't elevated the average yet. Ethan Anderson was a player, I think he played with Griffel Farrell, 21 home runs, 21 years old, 1 home run, 20 RBIs, 14 steals. Very good for a catcher. Good, solid catcher. I think he might go higher. Orioles have a lot of catchers in the organization. So that's his problem. I think that's probably why, for sure, they're not going to move him up this year unless Basairo moves up. But as well, Aaron Estrada, we've been talking about him the last couple of years in the DSL Orioles as well. Now he's at Aberdeen, 20 years old. You could argue he's been their best player. 21 steals, 289 average, been their most productive. You talk about some of these guys from the Dominican. They are young, but they've been playing a long time. Some of them have been playing professionally in their country when they're 13 and 14 years old. They get to America, they've been playing. He's already been playing as a pro for 4 or 5 years now. So you see guys, you see that Dominican guys play well. The pitching, Michael Ferret. We talked about Braxton Bragg last week. If he wasn't the best pitching prospect in the Orioles organization, it's definitely Michael Ferret. Ferret, 1-1, microscopic, pretty low, 1.59 ERA, 31 strikeouts. Juan Rojas, I think, has also been really good. Hasn't been doing well with the win-loss. I think he's just had some tough luck because the offensive production hasn't been what it's needed to be. But that's obviously a thing. But I think these two guys may not be in Aberdeen much longer. I think maybe they're going to go up to Bowie pretty soon. Wyatt Cheney, 24 years old, 5.12 ERA, 52 strikeouts. So he's got obviously the power to go ahead and strike guys out, but he just needs to be a little bit more productive with the ERA. It's a little bit high as well. Should at this point be overpowering guys if you're 24 years old and you're in AA. So keep that in mind. There you go. IronBirds.
Oh, put me in cold. I'm ready to play.
All right. So, yes, that's going to look better than the congressional baseball game that I saw yesterday. All right. Next week, we're going to talk about the Delmarva Shorebirds as well. So we're definitely going to go ahead and check that out. Definitely into, finally, these minor league games are on Masson. So you're going to get an opportunity to take a look at that as well. Orioles report. Monday, Orioles activated Scott Billard, who's actually been out there on the mound here lately. So you actually have seen him a couple times already. They did go ahead and send down Matt Bowman. Bowman, I thought, got a pretty tough break. I thought he was actually pretty good. Yeah, Bowman on his last start, but sat down. They had to make room. I get it. They brought him up. Busy day last week. Couple guys came back. Jordan Westberg, Cedric Mullins activated from the 10-day DL. I've activated designated Emmanuel Rivera for assignment. Option Heston Kjerstad to Norfolk. Big stuff here. Westberg hasn't really played in a while. I think even when he was playing before, he didn't look right. So Westberg already with the 2 home runs already. So Westy has already got back in the lineup. Cedric Mullins, interesting. Wasn't in the lineup tonight, and also didn't play in the field when I saw it the other night. I wasn't like I said, I was out last night, so I didn't see it as much there, but I did see excuse me, that they DH'd him. So interesting to see with Cedric. Maybe a little bit more limited there. Interesting to keep an eye on. Mayor Rivera started out really good. Then he started to struggle a little bit more. I think he might have stayed under different circumstances, but I think he kind of became a victim of numbers. And Heston Kjerstad, look, I think like somebody I saw on Twitter, like, is this the end for Kjerstad? Maybe not. But I think to pull the plug, I think it's fair. He didn't play well on defense. He didn't hit. He did hit a few home runs, but I think I can't really sit here and say it's unfair that they're sending him to AAA here as well. He's got potential though. I would say that. So I think maybe that's a little harsh, but I can see. Look, he had a couple chances to play as well. DC Dylan Carlson's going to get to stay because he's actually played better. So interesting to see what happens with Kjerstad. Jordan Adams was outrighted to Norfolk. He really didn't play much. He selected Luis Vasquez from Norhigh, placed Jorge Mateo, everybody's favorite Oriole, on the DL. On the DL, retroactive to June 7th, sent Matt Bowman again outright to AAA. That was part of that other move. there as well. I don't know who Sayer Dietrich is, but the Orioles went ahead and signed a left hand to contract to a minor league contract. So never stop acquired pitching. I've got no problem with that. Emmanuel Rivera outrighted to Norfolk. After that, after he was designated for assignment, he is in Norfolk. He did go ahead and accept that assignment as well. Gary Sanchez batted twice in his Thursday in his rehab assignment in AAA Norfolk, 8 for 22, 3 home runs with a double in 7 games. He's recovering from misinformation as well. Hopefully, we can get Gary Sanchez back here pretty soon. Who's hot? Jordan Westburg hit 2 home runs already on the back. Jackson Holliday. Jackson Holland's been good now for a while. I can't definitely worthy of all-star game consideration. They didn't move him down tonight. I saw they had. That's fine. I don't care where you hit him at this point. As long as he stays in the lineup, hitting against lefties, got to hit against the lefty. So I definitely he's one of been your best. Zach Eflin had 2 outstanding starts. I think this guy is if there's got to be teams calling about Zach Eflin if you are interested in dealing and making some deals. After O'Hearn's been so good so early in the year, I put him in the not categories like under 200 as well. You're going to have that during the course of the season, so I'm not too worried about O'Hearn. Kate Povich, I am still a little surprised that they haven't went to Trevor Rogers the way Kate Povich has looked lately. Not so great here. Kate Povich has been great as well. Maverick Hanley, this guy's awfully popular for a guy hitting 030. Like people like Twitter and it loves Maverick Hanley. Like this guy isn't hitting at all, guys. Not category. He's not hitting. He's good behind the plate, but I don't know why you guys are not wanting Gary Sanchez to come back after this. I don't know. This week, and I'm gonna edit that. So this week, that isn't the rank. Is it the rank? No, it's not. It didn't get saved. So this week as well, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So the Angels in the outfield are coming to Camden Yards after this game as well. So you're going to have 3 games as well. Apple TV. So keep that in mind with that. So you're going to have the Angels, Tampa Bay Devil Rays. If you want to go old school with them as well. They're going to be there. Not in the game with the Devil Rays is not going to be in the Dome. For those of you, it'll be in Steinbrenner Field in Tampa because the Dome obviously had the issue with the roof off of it there as well. And I'm going to give it Adley. Welcome back, Adley. Was great this week. I think he was productive. I thought he was driving the ball. There you go, Trent. The productive, just driving the ball. I thought it was fantastic stuff from Adley. Not all the way back in terms of average and production as well, but he's finally looked more like the guy we all want to see here lately. So there you go. All right. We soldier on. Next week, we're going to go ahead and talk about positions as well. I think that's right. I should know, shouldn't I? So next week, I think we're going to do breakout players next week. Next week. But definitely check us out on the Rivalry Sports podcast as well. We're going to have some more interviews and everything coming. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy all the games. Have a great day.